Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Fighting Game Fridays. And yes, you were not seeing things. That was, in fact, a genuine Sega Saturn opening logo. And some of you might be wondering, what the hell is this? Weren't you doing Soul Calibur? Weren't you doing the Soul Calibur series? You know, for those of you who actually pay attention. And I was, but then I thought, does anybody really want to see Soul Calibur 3 or 4? Yeah, that's what I thought. So anyway, I decided to go with another weapons-based brawler, one of my favorites, Last Bronx, as you see here for the Sega Saturn. Yes, it is a Sega Saturn game, and I have actually got a hold of a few Sega Saturn games, which I will be portraying in a few upcoming episodes of Fighting Game Fridays. Why? Because it's my show. But in all seriousness, believe it or not, I think, in my opinion, Sega Saturn had some of the best 3D fighters, and in some cases, the best portrayal of the 2D fighters at the time for any system. But anyway, watch this intro first. Okay, yeah, so a little bit of abrupt ending to the intro, but I liked it. So anyway, like I said, Last Bronx was a weapon-based 3D fighter for the Sega Saturn. Basically, the best way I can put it is it controlled pretty much like Virtua Fighter or any other 3D Sega game, fighting game, made by Sega, and it's showing like the different options. Just showing different options. Free practice modes, aerial combat practice mode, portraits. See here you can like unlock portraits by fulfilling certain conditions in the game. And stuff like that. It also had two different versions, arcade mode and, well, arcade mode and Saturn mode. Which basically, arcade mode, just they put in like the animated endings for each character. There's also versus mode, but since I had only one controller plugged in. So basically, you know, the game pretty much portrays 8 different characters, each with a different authentic martial arts weapon. That's what it says in the back of the box anyway. And basically the story here is excuse me. Basically the story here is that after some kind of economic collapse in Japan, gangs take over, and then somebody organizes this citywide or Japanese-wide, I don't know, gang war where all the gang leaders have to participate in a tournament, and if they don't, then, well, they get killed. No, I'm not kidding. That's pretty much how it said, that you will join the tournament or we will kill you. Or probably, if not you, then your subordinates, I don't know. I chose Joe because he has nunchucks, and let's face it, the nunchucks are awesome. But yeah, 8 different characters with, like I said, and I really messed up on the first round there. Yeah, you go me. This guy, who is Kurosawa, I think I said his name right. His weapon is a wooden sword. I don't remember the name of it. There's a different name. It's a wooden katana. I forgot the name of it. I don't know my Japanese martial arts weapons too well. Sorry. So basically, yeah. Of course, you know you got combos, and the game actually does. The game actually counts combos. Like, it's not something you really saw a lot of in 3D games at the time, or at least not the ones I played, where they actually do a little combo counter in the corner, and the thing did aerial combos and stuff like that. You know, it's a pretty decent game. Like I said, well, if I put like hours into this game, sure it only had like 8 characters, but come on. I thought it was actually a pretty awesome game. So yeah, what else can I say about this game? I mean, it's not really much to discuss about it. Basically, the characters had their own stages and stuff like that. Let's see. Like I said, the combo system was pretty good. I mean, I didn't make it look as good as it could have because, like, you know, like I'm playing against computers, so really, how advanced against a computer do you have to be? Game had good stuff. It had good music. I thought the fight mechanics pretty good. The collision detection was pretty good. Blocking was just pretty much spot on accurate. Or whatever. It started out as pretty much one of the arcade games because Sega did a lot of 3D fighting arcade games back in the day. You see, back when we had arcades, you would just see like machine after machine of fighting games, and they'd be all over the place. I did remember seeing this in an arcade somewhere. I don't know if I actually played the arcade version, but and I can't believe I hit the pause button. But yeah, so like, you know, you go to arcades now, and what do you see? You see a bunch of like, what the hell do you see? I don't know. Like those games you see on iPhones now, like Infinity Blade and Fruit Ninja. Really? And also Deal or No Deal. Huh? Yeah, really? It's very hard to find an arcade that has some of the older arcade games in it now. I mean, I've been to Dave & Buster's a few times, and I was like, whatever. Nothing spectacular here. Arcades, they need to come back, and they need more fighters. Now it's all about, like those little games you play and various forms of first-person shooter arcades. Yes, I mean, they're more interesting in the arcade than they are at home, because at least in the arcade version of first-person shooters, you get like the light gun. You get the light gun shooter, and you can like do all these things. That makes it more interesting than if you're playing it like at home. Like you do the controller or mouse and keyboards, like click, 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 click. At least this one, you get the feeling that like you're shooting something. Actually pretty cool. So, but yeah, talk about being way off topic. Nagi, also a character whose weapon is the scythe. So yeah, like I said, these are all pretty much supposed to be gang leaders. Joe, he was part of another gang, but him and one other guy. Like, all the characters are pretty much connected. They all pretty much know each other. Some have rivalries with others. Some are kind of friends, but not. Joe was part of a gang with two other guys, which actually both show up in this playthrough, and I'll bring them up when they come along. And they all, like Joe and the other guy, broke off. Oh, there goes my text message. Joe and the other guy broke off to form their own gangs. Not Maryland. This is the other guy I was talking about. The guy with the big wooden mallet. Which, by the way, like I said, I'm not really an expert on martial arts weaponry, but is the giant mallet really a martial arts weapon? If anybody knows the answer to that, could you let me know? I mean, seriously. I'm very confused about that. So, yeah, Zaimoku, I think I said that right, was part of the same gang that Joe and one other guy was part of, and they broke off to start their own. This guy basically left the gang just to go work for his dad. You know, he wanted to make an honest living working at a construction site, dumpster. I don't know. His thing takes place in a junkyard. But yeah, but apparently that didn't get him out of the life, and they were like, "Oh well, we're gonna make you be part of the tournament too, yay!" Arenas are pretty much closed in. They have that little wall there, even though like you can't really knock an opponent over it or break through it. Oh, Tommy is another character. I also found it kind of odd that a lot of these, this is supposed to be a game that takes place in Japan. All the characters are Japanese, yet how many of them actually look Japanese? Not really a lot of them. Not really a lot of them have a bunch of Japanese names. I mean, there's Joe, and there's a character called Lisa, which I actually fought a few months back. Lisa is supposed to be like the hot girl of the game. I don't know. She's like the youngest too, I think. Or maybe this guy. Like I said, arenas are pretty much closed. They're pretty spacious, but they are closed in. So it is possible to do a thing where you're knocked against the wall and stuff like that. I just like this game because I thought the hits were brutal. I mean, you knock somebody out, they go flying across the screen. I thought it was pretty cool. You can do like the down attacks, jump down. Something that was a staple in the 3D Sega fighting games. Like, you knock the character down, you jump up, it's a virtual fighter, fighting vipers, and all that other fun stuff. The main boss of the game is this guy right here. His name is Red Eye. He is like the character that whoever made the tournament made this guy, and he's like supposed to be the final test. But since I'm playing Saturn mode and he's not really directed towards the story of this guy, he's not the final boss. He shows up before the final boss. So yeah, this game has the rivalry system where you go through games. You go through the battles, and we get to the eighth match. Yeah, it's a short game. You go to the 8th match and you face a rival. That's in Saturn mode. In arcade mode, you go through opponents randomly or in a specific order. I don't know. And there you go. And there's like ending and credits. And this guy is Yosaku. Yes, this is the rival battle. This is the third guy I was talking about. He takes over this gang. This guy faces another gang and stuff like that. And so they meet in the battlefield. Or as this guy called it, the, what was it? Contest? I don't remember. But yeah, in the instruction book it was pretty cool because each character had a little small bio and it had a little explanation of how they felt about things going on. It was actually pretty cool. Yeah, it's a nice instruction book. When I got this game, I just bought this game recently. Again, I used to own it back in the day, but I traded in to get other games. And I recently got it back because I wanted to do it for Fighting Game Fridays, and here we go. And this game, I think, still holds up. I still think it's pretty cool. I just think it's kind of a shame that this game didn't really get a lot of recognition. And if it did, at least it didn't get it over in America. I guess it was more of a Japanese kind of thing. Oh, but here's the ending.
やっぱりチームはあんたが継ぐべきだったんだよ。いつまで俺に甘えるつもりだ。待ってくれ、ジョー。俺は優作、なんでお前にチームを任せたか考え直してから出直してこい。
So yeah, they weren't exactly the most extensive endings, but it was still pretty nice that they put those endings there, especially since you play a game like Virtual Fighter, and there really were no like endings to the characters. You would just knock out the last character and boom, credits. Yay! That's basically what happened if you get arcade mode here, but they made a special Saturn mode and PC mode when it came out to PC for that. So yeah, basically like I said, I don't think this game honestly didn't do too well, especially since it came out since at the time when the Saturn was pretty much dying. And it was a real shame because I think Saturn was actually a good system, but they really blew it with their marketing tactic when it first came out. Maybe that's something I'll bring up in another video that I have nothing to do with this. So yeah, like I said, I thought the game was pretty good. I used to play it for hours, and I'd come home from school and I'd be like, "Yay, more Last Bronx!" I'd be like sitting there playing all different characters, beating the crap out of each other with different weapons. It was pretty cool. I don't remember if my friends ever played it because I only had like one other friend who's really into fighting games. Not a lot of other people were. But whatever. And of course, you get to put in your initials when you beat the game, like in arcade mode. So yeah, I thought this game was pretty cool. I thought it was one of the best fighting games on the Saturn. One of the best 3D fighting games, anyway. It's basically there in the top 3. There are a bunch more, but I don't remember like most of them. I gotta look that up. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this installment of Fighting Game Fridays. Okay, so I might have veered a little off topic here, and I do apologize for that, but other than like that, basically that, there's really not a lot else to talk about this game. It's a 3D fighter with weapons. I thought it was pretty good. If you ever get a chance to either play it or get the PC version or emulate it, I don't know, give it a try. It's pretty fun. I'm not saying I don't know how well it did here in America. In Japan, they might get a part 2 for all I know. I'm not sure. I never really looked into it. But yeah, I thought it was pretty decent fighting game, and yeah, that's it for this installment of Fighting Game Fridays. See you guys next time.